if you ever have a really hard time in your life, you're like, oh my God, this can't get any worse. What is happening? Why is it happening? There's no reason. You're being tested. The universe is saying, do you really want this? Do you really deserve this? That darkness is saying no, and you have to punch it in the face. You have to prove that you deserve it. You have to prove that you want it. You have to go do something uncomfortable. You have to go step into the fear, step into the black, and prove that you are the man you say you are. Podcast. I'm Chris Rodack. This is a solo episode, and I just felt like I had to talk. We just finished up our first Zoom call for our first men's program, our first official Rising Father men's program, and I am just so on fire. I'm just so motivated and proud and emotionally tapped in from the guys in this group. 6 guys on the call. Every single one of them spilling their hearts out about their life story, things they're struggling with, the craziest things you could imagine that they've overcame and are now deciding to starve themselves with macros, work out early every single morning, and beat the hell out of their bodies. So on top of all of the pain and suffering they've gone through, they're deciding now to add more to it, all in the sake of becoming a better man. Wow, that sounds horrible, Chris. No, that's where peace comes from. That's where fulfillment comes from. That's where purpose comes from. Yeah, but being hungry isn't fun. You know what's not fun? Looking in the mirror and seeing someone you're ashamed of. Yeah, but waking up early sucks. You know what sucks? Sleeping in and feeling regret for what you didn't accomplish. You know what felt great? The other day when I woke up early, did my workout, did my routine, and then made my family breakfast for whenever they woke up in the morning. That felt amazing, much better than sleeping in. We have a guy who said he hasn't been able to run. Okay, he's overweight. He's got probably 80 pounds to lose. The journey's going to be long and hard for him, but he has the fire within him. He hasn't ran since 2019. He's been in our group for 3 days. He posted a video of himself sprinting. Okay? Sprinting. And now he's telling us that him and his wife are already watching what they eat together. Already. He hasn't had a physical transformation yet. He's had the most important transformation in his brain. He's fixing his mindset. He's saying that he's not a victim. He's saying, this is hard and I'm going to change. Who cares about the body? That's going to happen. This is the hardest part. And we went over, yes, it's not going to be a cakewalk. You're pumped up, you're motivated right now. Tomorrow you could feel like shit. You could feel like hell tomorrow. You could wake up depressed, anxious, stressed out. It could happen. Happens to everyone. Happened to me today. I posted about it. If you follow my stories on Instagram, yeah, man, I was struggling today. I was like, why am I doing any of this? That's what I said to myself. I said, why am I doing any of this, including Rising Father? I said, it was 3:45, and I woke up. I said, why am I working out? Why am I doing Rising Father? Why don't I just sleep for another 3 hours and be complacent? And I wanted to just do that because it was comfy. That's why. That's the only reason. Because it was comfy. My ego, the resistance that I was battling, didn't have any foresight. They couldn't see, wow, this thing you're creating is amazing. The people you're impacting, the amount that you're impacting them is huge. How much they are impacting you is massive. I feel like a different person after this call. How they are impacting themselves and their families and then their communities is massive. My inner voice didn't say that. What did my inner voice say? It said, go back under the covers. It's warm. It's going to feel good. And I almost listened to that voice. That's the voice that comes for all of us. Inner bitch. Some people call it the fake self. Some people call it the darkness, the resistance, the devil. I've heard all the names, whatever it is. It comes for you. It comes for you when you're at your weakest. It comes for you in the morning when you're tired, whenever you're sick, whenever you're stressed out, anxious at work. It comes for you and tries to tell you to stop doing whatever you're doing to improve yourself because it's just better the old way. And that's when men are made. That's when your steel is forged. Your inner fire has to take over and punch it in the face. But guess what? It might happen again tomorrow. You could beat it down. I beat mine down today, but it might come back tomorrow. I beat mine down by sticking to my routine, by doing the actions over how I felt. I felt like shit. I felt like doing nothing. Okay, I was at the gym pulling weights. Didn't want to do it at all. It's like 4:15 a.m. pulling weights back. Did not want to do it. Onslaught going on in my brain. Why are you doing this? You're in good enough shape. You're in good enough shape. Just quit. I literally had a thought of, as I was in the middle of my set of dumbbell rows, quit, go home, and go to sleep. Those thoughts were coming to me. I didn't quit, though, which is why I feel a sense of peace right now. And then when I went home, I cleaned up the kitchen. I did the dishes. I made my kids breakfast. I journaled. I meditated. I planned out my business day. I wrote emails. I contacted clients. I did a Zoom call, and I have to wake up in about 6 hours to go to the gym again. I'm doing this solo podcast instead of tomorrow because I'm taking action and doing work. I am taking steps towards what I want to build and who I want to become. Because of that, I have inner peace. And I will take inner peace over extra sleep and comfort any day because I know what it's like to be tortured on the inside. I know what it's like to have that just inner hell where you don't know what's wrong. And, you've got that darkness attacking you where you're thinking, man, things should be fine right now. Why aren't they fine? What's wrong? And a lot of times it comes down to just flat out living an easy life. It comes down to just living without any stress, any intentional stress, any challenges. We're living too easy. We're not pushing ourselves, not punishing ourselves, so that when the stress does come, we've already defeated it. If I can wake up at 3:45, go work out for 90 minutes, pushing myself to almost failure every single set, and do that while I'm having an onslaught of negativity, the next time I'm a little bit hungry, who cares? The next time I'm at a party where someone offers me a drink and that doesn't fit in my macros, nope, not a big deal. Like, oh, I'm at a party, I have to drink. So what? Or, you're in a situation at work where someone's trying to get you to do something that you know you shouldn't. So what? You pushed yourself out of bed when you were dead tired, went to the gym, lifted weights as a voice in your head was telling you to go home. None of that stuff matters. That's why we push ourselves in the middle of the night. That's why we push ourselves when no one else is, because we can have that memory to look back on and rely on to give us strength. I now have strength because of this morning. I thank that resistance. I thank that force that was coming after me because it made me stronger. It taught me a lesson. And I was on another call today with another men's group that I'm a part of. I'm a part of men's group because I need to be inspired myself so I can inspire my men. And they were talking about the same thing, about thanking the resistance, because right before or right after the resistance comes is whenever you are going to level up. So if you ever have a really hard time in your life, you're like, oh my God, this can't get any worse. What is happening? Why is it happening? There's no reason. You're being tested. The universe is saying, do you really want this? Do you really deserve this? That darkness is saying no, and you have to punch it in the face. You have to prove that you deserve it. You have to prove that you want it. You have to go do something uncomfortable. You have to go step into the fear, step into the black, and prove that you are the man you say you are.